let's give you a little update on the former president's social media habits here. Obviously, he is no longer on Twitter as of today. However, he has apparently picked up his usage of his own social media platform, Truth Social, which does actually seem to work now, at least. So it has that going for it. And it's interesting. So let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. It's interesting the things that he's saying over there. You won't be shocked to learn it's mostly like ranting about Stop the Steal, scolding Mo Brooks, sharing a kind of a call for civil war. I'll read you that one just so you know I'm not kind of taking this out of context. He shared this from an account.
Very weird tweet.
Is a very weird tweet. Shared this from an account called MAGA King Thanos. Thanos.
Yeah.
Is that a Game of Thrones?
It's a Marvel thing. Yeah.
It's a Marvel thing. Yeah. Okay. Listen, guys, I'm totally culturally clueless. You should just know that about me. Anyway, President of El Salvador apparently said that the most powerful country in the world was falling so fast, and something so big and powerful can't be destroyed so quickly unless the enemy comes from within. In this MAGA King account person retruthed it, terrible branding, and said civil war, which Trump retweeted. Okay. He also tweeted at Mo Brooks, "Can't do that, Mo," after Brooks was caught trying to still sort of insinuate that he was endorsed by Trump.
Okay.
"Can't do that, Mo." Yeah.
Oh, I understand.
Yes.
Well, we have some images. Why don't we put that up there?
Put those up on the screen.
On the screen. Here, this is exactly how cringe Truth Social looks. Yeah, you can see the weird Civil War call.
That's up in the top left.
Yeah, the top left one.
At least on our screen.
Still talking about Jussie
Smollett. Yeah, this is about January 6th thing. So he says, free the January 6th political prisoners. Reminder, Jussie Smollett is a free man. Alec Baldwin is a free man. Hunter Biden is a free man. But grandmother who took selfies in the Capitol is in jail without bail. So it gives you a little window there into what his obsessions continue to be. You've got some ranting about Twitter. He said, "Twitter's in big trouble, has lost all credibility, is unlikely to see Elon Musk close his ridiculous deal with them after having learned so much about the massive number of bots and fake accounts, et cetera, et cetera."
Well, he doesn't want Elon to buy Twitter because that would mean that his entire social media company is irrelevant.
Yes, indeed.
Here's a fun one from this morning, Krystal. He's trying to spin a bunch of the losses that he suffered in terms of his endorsements.
Oh, you got a new one?
Yeah, brand new, just 3 minutes ago. "A very big and successful evening of political endorsements. All wins in Texas, 33-0, Arkansas and Alabama. A great new senatorial candidate and others in Georgia. Overall, for the cycle, in quotes, 100 wins, 6 losses, some of which were not possible to win, and 2 runoffs. Thank you. Congratulations to all."
Okay.
That's an interesting way of spinning one of the most humiliating losses so far in the state of Georgia. Sure, Herschel Walker won, but I mean, it's just so funny, returning to the Brian Kemp thing. He literally said that he only had one goal, which was to defeat Brian Kemp and Liz Cheney. And he was like, "I know where I'll be 2 years from now. I'm going to be here in Georgia campaigning against your governor." How did that work out?
Doesn't Cheney also have a chance to survive?
Maybe. It's unclear. I will say Wyoming GOP has very much turned against her. She doesn't have the same level of institutional backing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, the RGA, the Republican Governors Association, actually did back Trump. But I think what is really important about this is, yeah, it's funny and we're amused and we're laughing, but did you hear about it? Not really. And the reason why is he's just become increasingly irrelevant to a lot of our national conversation. There was a time, Krystal, when the Civil War retweet would have been like, how many think pieces, New York Times and MSNBC about that. Everyone's just like, whatever. We got life is moving on.
I thought there was a good analysis of kind of the state of Trump influence from Financial Times. Go ahead and put this up on the screen. They say, "This is not an obituary of Donald Trump. He still has a plausible shot at becoming the first ex-president to be reelected since Grover Cleveland in 1892. But politics is about momentum, and the energy behind Trump is dissipating. The bad news for Trump's detractors is that his MAGA base is not fading. The Kraken lives on. It just no longer shows such deference to the man in Mar-a-Lago. Trump's handicap is that he's obsessed with one issue, that he was cheated by Joe Biden of his rightful election victory in 2020. Most Republican voters share in that belief, which is a litmus test for candidates. Yet, the stolen election myth is their politics starting point, not as be-all and end-all. By confining himself to rigged elections, Trump is forgetting MAGA's animating spirit, which is hatred of America's cultural elites, which I thought was very well said. And I was thinking about this with regards to social media because on the one hand, Trump being off Twitter has been great for him because it has allowed the broader public to kind of forget what an obnoxious, like, shit-disturbing asshole he is on a daily basis. And so that has kind of smoothed some of the rough edges, allowed people to look back at his time in office with a little bit of rose-colored glasses and forget just what it was like every single day. On the other hand, because his superpower was always being able to control those media cycles, get attention, make all the people that are the most hated people in the country lose their minds on a daily basis, total symbiotic relationship, the loss of that power, I think, has mattered in terms of the extent of his hold on the Republican base. He's still extremely popular. He's still the overwhelming favorite to win the Republican nomination. There's no doubt about it. But you know, if he had been continuing to drive news cycles in the same way in the run-up to Georgia, in the run-up to Alabama, in the run-up to these other races, the result might have tilted more in his favor. There may have been more loyalty towards him from the MAGA base and less willingness to kind of track their own, chart their own route.
Oh, absolutely. And we see this too in the gubernatorial primaries. Put it up there. A Donald Trump endorsed primary candidate has now lost the gubernatorial for the third week in a row. Herbster lost in Nebraska, Janice McGeehan lost last Tuesday, and David Perdue lose tonight in the state of Georgia. So his hold on everything, look, don't exaggerate it and say he has no power, but the power that he once had certainly does not exist.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.